compromise a lot of the questions. Okay? So this is after the fact of October 26th was an unprecedented storm that we had. The bridge, we're calling it a bridge, it's actually a levee system, or not a levee system, a culvert system. The actual culvert system did not collapse until October 30th, which was 4 days after the main part of the event. Then it was roughly about 7 o'clock when we went out there and we realized how bad the system got compromised and collapsed. And we're expecting things to continue to happen in the city. We actually identified a couple of other soft spots in the area. The water is still moving. So this declaration of emergency will probably continue until next week, sometime when we think things are going to stabilize a bit. The Homeowners Association did step in and take some immediate process. They hired a contractor to put in a berm, if you will, inside to take some pressure off of the culvert system. We feel that did work. It did buy us time. It did slow down the damage. Water did continue to flow through the culvert system, but it did significantly slow it down. So we're appreciative of that. Total failure of the culvert system. One of the reasons why the city became so entrenched in this is we have a lot of utility invested in that culvert system. There's a lift station in the back. If we were to lose the forced main that goes across that culvert system, not only would we potentially have a sewage spill that would go into the waterway, which we don't want, we would also lose sewage and water for the rest of the community, which would affect another 100+ homes, and we really did not want that to happen. So stepping in was the right thing for us to do, just for the utility side. On the humanitarian side, we want to protect life and property, and one of the hardest things I had to do that night was evacuate the 21 homes, which was actually 20 families. Our goal now is to shore up our utilities and get those people back in their homes before Thanksgiving. So we did step in. We did, as of last night, the temporary levee berm that was put in there to protect the culvert system did fail. It did have a catastrophic fail last night, but fortunately we had already mobilized some equipment and we got a quick fix on it. So the fail on the berm yesterday at about 3 or 4 o'clock was minimized, and we do have equipment on site right now working on the site. The commission last night did a 5-0 vote to support the project and move forward with negotiating terms with the Homeowners Association, basically giving us the green light to take over the project. I would like to stress that the commission and the city command staff, from the city manager to public works to the police department, everybody has been full throttle in supporting this project. What the level of capacity that we were going to have on it wasn't defined yet, but we were prepared to take over the project. The nice part is with projections of what we were going to need, we have everything on site to get this done. The pipes are actually being delivered today. Those were already, we were already working on that. The collars, the joints, the pipe that we're not going to have to replace, we're hoping we don't have to replace, was from 20 years ago. New technology versus old technology, some fixes had to be determined for that. All of that work has already been done. Our engineers, our public works department, they've already gone and asked all those questions. So we're really excited to actually be moving on this and get it done, and we already know most of the answers to the questions that we were going to run into. Went to the next page. As far as the repair goes, we're anticipating that it will be done before Thanksgiving. That's our goal, right, is to get everybody home before Thanksgiving. What a great holiday gift, correct? We're really hoping that it would be sooner than that, but as we tear this apart, we don't know what else might be undermined in there. We do know that there was water running underneath the actual culvert system. We don't know what leg or means we're going to have to do to pull that stuff out to get it shored up so that it's a permanent fix. Now that we're in there repairing it, this is not going to be a temporary fix. We're going to fix the culvert. Okay, so the culvert's getting taken care of. They're going to be working steadily on the project. They being the contractor that the city has put in place, which is, what is it, Cathcart?
Yeah,
This is the contractor that we've used for the Bates Road project, which is over there right now, which was part of the failure. If you are following some of the other roads right now, we have Palmetto and Sims is out. That fell about a week after the flood. We're continually having issues, and we're getting on it really fast and getting a lot of work done quickly. The crews out at the Spring Ridge site, they're going to be working late into the night. Last night they were already on site pulling things out. We shorted up. We did make pathways and walkways for the citizens so they can get to and from their homes. They're allowed to go to their homes. They're allowed to go in there and get their mail and check their stuff and do everything in their house. They just can't live in them. We can't keep them safe in there. So citizens are going to continue to have access to their homes. We just ask that everybody be cognizant that this is an active construction site, and there's limited access for the homeowners. So there will be times where we have to take the fence down to move equipment through or do something else. We won't have a schedule for that because we're going to be moving quick, fast, and we want to get this done. So we're just asking that the citizens understand that. And honestly, the Homeowners Association and the citizens have been awesome to work with. They want this done as much as we do. So we're moving forward with that. Displaced citizens. Some of the questions were about the displaced citizens. Arrangements have been made for 6 families. Everyone else, the other 14 families have found other means. They're living with in-laws. They're living with neighbors. I will tell you that the neighborhood has stepped up and they're helping their fellow neighbors, which is a fantastic thing to see. Right now we have 9 rooms for the displaced families, which constitutes 13 adults and 6 children. At this time we are not housing any dogs or cats. So all the dogs and cats found a place to go. If any of you were out there the first night, that was one of the challenges, was finding pet-friendly facilities. We do have housing set up for these families at their current location until November 13th. We have shored up more stuff for them. They're going to be taken care of beyond that point. We're hoping we don't have to go too far beyond the 13th. But again, we're hoping to have them in before Thanksgiving. The current costs, some of the questions were about the cost. The cost of the project had been estimated to be between $500,000 and $700,000. We don't know what the total cost is. Hopefully we'll have a better idea of it later today, maybe tomorrow, when they've actually pulled the pipes out. As I'm understanding, some of the culverts have already been removed from the hole. I haven't been out there yet this morning, but it looks like they're getting a pretty good feel of what the actual damage is at this time. So hopefully we'll get a better number on that. The Homeowners Association did ask for help. One of the reasons is you don't want to wait for certain means of financing to come to fruition. And also the City of Eustis didn't want to wait, prolong this so that we have imminent collapse in our utility. So this is a great partnership between the City of Eustis and the Homeowners Association. There are other pieces that are in play. We'll worry about those later, and that's, of course, the insurance company for the Homeowners Association. This may be all taken care of. We're hoping that it goes that route. We don't know. That might be another story for all of you. The other part to it is we are also looking at state and federal resources, and unfortunately we know how long that takes. And again, we're not interested in having a utility on the edge of critical fail and citizens out of their homes for extended periods of time. So we're going to accelerate all that by doing what we did last night and today, which is step in and take over the project and get it done. With that, if you go out to the site, I'm going to ask that you all be safe. Understand that it is an active site. It is a lot different. Some of you familiar faces that I've seen. It's a lot different right now. We have jammed a lot of equipment into a small space, And these gentlemen, they're, in their minds, the people that are working the site, the ladies and gentlemen, there's some ladies in there too, their goal is to get everybody into their homes before Thanksgiving. So we have a great, powerful goal. And that's kind of where we're at today. And have I missed anything? No? I'll open it up for questions.
Just to be clear, they never lost power on, due to the collapse, correct?
They were on the edge of losing power. The night that it collapsed on the 30th, the entire infrastructure for the power was exposed, but Duke Energy showed up with us, and they rerouted from the other side. And that the other part to that was, again, utility protection, because we have to keep power to the lift station to continue the flow. Understand, if the utility fails, if the lift station fails, we have to shut the water off, because we can't have water running in the neighborhood if there's nowhere for the water to go. You flush the toilet, it has to go somewhere. And in this case, if the utility failed, where would it go? It would go into the environment, and we can't have that. So we would have to shut both of those utilities off, which would then facilitate hazard notice for the entire neighborhood. And we're really, really working hard for that not to happen.
Can you talk about ownership of the roads? Does the city own some of this area, or is it completely HOA owned? Since there is utilities in this area, as you mentioned, is there an easement that the city owns in this area?
There's agreements and easements. I believe the easement is on the Culvert, and I don't know the particulars on that. I'm the incident commander and fire chief. I don't dwell in that world. But I do know that the area, the Culvert system itself, is considered a common area owned by the homeowners association. And yes, the utilities are owned by the City of Eustis. We do have rights of easement on that Culvert system. But when it washes away, you basically own airspace. So our issue is we have to protect the culvert to protect our utilities. And I believe what we're referring to would be a blended area. This is kind of like an area that we both have common interests in. They have to have access to their homes, and we have to have access for fire trucks and ambulances to get in to help people, and for our utilities to be secure.
And in terms of the payment, you mentioned it's going to cost between $500,000 to $700,000. It could be a little bit more than that. Is the city in conversations with the HOA in terms of how this money is going to come back later?
Oh, absolutely. There's full agreements on it, and I've seen the agreement. It's been gone over both with the attorneys of the Homeowners Association and the attorney for the City of Eustis. I believe it is a strong, and I believe it also the Homeowners Association is totally intent on working with us and paying their bill, even if the insurance company doesn't step up. I don't think the City of Eustis is going to be out holding the dime on this. I think that everybody's on the same page. We have the means and the ability to take care of it in a quick and timely fashion, and that's why the City of Eustis is stepping in, on top of the fact that we're protecting our utilities. And understand also the commission for the City of Eustis is very strong on protecting its citizens and taking care of its citizens, and it upsets everybody when we have to displace 20 families. It's very hard.
And Chief, I think you mentioned that a few minutes earlier that there were about 100 other homes that could be affected if you don't make sure that this stays in place and is repaired.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to say there's 126 or 127 homes in the neighborhood. So right now, the 21 homes, we're lucky that that's all that's on that point. I mean, really, when you think about the amount of homes that are in there, but we really don't want to go that step, because that magnitude of issue is it takes us to a whole new level. So.
Can one of you go over last night's meeting and the vote? What exactly did you decide? What exactly did you vote on?
Sure, absolutely. I was there, so I can answer that. I had to speak at it. So basically what they did is they discussed all the pros and cons of it. There was some question as to whether it was legal for us to get in there, and this is all conversation that we have to have in open forum, because those are true challenging questions. This is private property. I'll tell you, if this was a city road, we wouldn't be here right now because we would have done something immediately. We would have figured something out, but that's not what this was. And also, don't base your timeline off of the 26th. This road didn't collapse and become an issue till the 30th. So when people start pushing timelines on me, I have to remind them of that. We knew it was compromised, but it didn't collapse and start showing signs of critical erosion until the 30th. Okay.
Maybe the mayor, would you like to make any comments about the council action?
Before we let you guys, one
Yeah.
more question. If you can clarify, who put this culvert system in? Was it the city or the HOA?
This culvert system has been in it for over 20 years. The culvert system was just a weathered system. It had been around a while. The design is sound. The system that's being put back in it will be of the same structure, 248-inch pipes. It's going to be the same type structure. Now, of course, it's going to be new technologies and new systems put in it. But the technology was sound. So that makes this a lot faster. We don't have to go back to re-engineering. But yeah, it's been around for 20 years, and it went through the regular process. I went back and looked at the paperwork. The Homeowners Association went through, at the time, it wasn't the Homeowners Association, it was the builder, went through all the studies and everything and had all of that done, and it was all approved and processed. I don't have the particulars in it. If you're looking for that, you'd have to go fish through public records and find something else.
Chief,
But
I have a question. So when this water collapsed, we had the storm water that weakened the bridge, and then also did you have your city water pipes damaged and added to that flooding too, so the combination of things?
no, when the fire department showed up at the original collapse, we identified the water main was compromised. The pipe was leaking at the time, and the pipe was shut off at that time. So a critical fail on the water main was averted. I have no doubt that with the continued collapse of the culvert system, that the pipe would have failed and we would have had a seriously catastrophic event. But that's why that pipe has been turned off since Friday at 7 o'clock is when we shut it off.
Chief, one more thing about the site. We noticed that there was very large excavators out there in addition to the delivery of the new pipe sections. Was the excavator necessary to pull out, I guess, everything that was washed downstream as far as whatever the underpinnings of the culvert system?
We were kind of lucky. The big one with the really long arms called a long stick, we needed that to reach in there and grab the stuff because the pipe is still collapsing, and we didn't want to send somebody in with a small excavator and potentially have a collapse on a human being. So we were lucky that that equipment actually came from another site that we had just cleared. And when they were getting ready to clear it, myself and the public works director, we were like, well, how about you just stage it over here? And that's what they did. We moved it over there just because of happenstance. We're probably going to go this route in the next day or so. So we did start unofficial work when the levee collapsed, or I'm calling it a levee, when the berm collapsed. We started unofficial work because at that point, if that's being overcome, we really need to. We want to minimize damage. Obviously, we want to minimize damage, and we want to protect our infrastructure. We really don't want that force main to blow. The force main is a horrible event. It's a force main with sewage in it, and it's on a waterway that goes to, I believe, Lake Squatera. So we don't want that issue. So that is a seriously important situation for us, the environment, and the people.
And the long arm's helping to move everything, I guess, downstream?
Well, we're not moving anything downstream. What we're doing is we've closed. When you go out there, I'm sure you will. When you go out there, you'll see that we've isolated it totally, and we put more pumps up, and we're 100% bypassing it with water now with pumps. So there is nothing going through the culvert at this time. Okay, and that's to make it dry so that long stick can reach in there and do the work. And when we get it secured enough, people will start going in there and start doing their part in the evaluation and how far in do we actually have to dig to get there. Okay.
Will the city be rebuilding the actual bridge part that people could drive across?
Yes.
Okay.
yes, yeah, that's part of this. Now, we're not going to put the pretty, we're not going to put the pretty brick and everything back on it. This is to get back to functional safety for people to get to their homes. We'll leave parts, like, for example, the Public Works Director told me he's going to pour the asphalt 3 inches. And I'm not a construction guy, okay? I usually deal with it when it's burning. They're going to put 3 inches of asphalt on there with the intent that the homeowners association probably at some point is going to want to grate that out and put their brick back in to make it look pretty again. That's not what we're doing today. We're making it passable and secure, and if the homeowners association decides to leave that asphalt there, they're just going to have really thick asphalt. Yes.
I guess my question is, so this is a permanent fix, and you're replacing it with the same system. So are there any assurances that this system won't fail again?
It's been over 20 years, and I believe with the new technologies and some of the upgrades it's going to get just with the new technologies, and the fact that I believe we're probably going to lay out extra rock and shore that out. And also, a lot of things have changed as far as maintenance and that kind of thing. I think those are going to be addressed. I believe this will be a permanent fix that'll last decades. I also feel that this opened a lot of people's eyes, and I think there's going to be more serious looks at all the culverts and systems that are around Lake County and the state of Florida that are private. You know, this goes all the way back to you know, are we paying enough attention to our infrastructure? The reality is we got 20 inches of rain in around 4 hours, and I didn't even know that there was like a 1,000-year, you know, flood thing. So I've had the rare opportunity as the fire chief for the City of Eustis to work a 500-year flood and a 1,000-year flood, and basically within a year window. So my first question was, is there anything more than 1,000-year? You know, is there a 4,000, or I don't know, but I don't want to challenge that. This was a crazy event. If any of you were around town while this was happening, I actually got on the phone with EOC at about 8 o'clock at night and called the emergency manager at home and found out that she was already heading in. Megan's always on top of things, Megan Melanie's. She was already headed in, and she said, we heard there's something going on. I said, this is crazy. And that was only at 8 or 9 o'clock. The rains didn't start letting up till well after 10 o'clock. And we were already, I don't know if you heard, we were housing people in our fire station because I know where to put them. We were pulling people out of cars and out of buildings. And the firemen were asking me, where do we put these people? Bring them here, we'll put them in the fire station. So we actually had a makeshift facility going on at the fire station. I've never done that. So this was an extraordinary event, an extraordinary feat. Everybody raised up and took care of it. But now we're having these washouts that are, that was a lot of water. And that's more than we got with Hurricane Helene and the last couple of hurricanes. I try to forget the other one because it washed me out. So this was a major event. Just understand that. And for us to say that, you know, things failed, yes, things did fail. But how many things are built to take 20 inches of rain in 4 hours?
Now, the land out there is still pretty mushy. Is that complicating your procedure?
Yes, it is, and it will continue to do so. And there's nothing we can do about it. All the lakes and everything are kind of, you know, they're reaching their plateaus, and we have waterways open. The creek, the locks are open. We're trying to flow water out. They're telling me that's going to take 4 days to even start denting some of this. So we're dealing with a lot of that, and I keep telling the public when they come and talk to me, when is this going to end? I don't know when it's going to end. As long as the water is still flowing in places that it hasn't flowed before, understand that there's still water out there that we have to deal with and contend with, and it might take a while. So,
Mayor,
Did you
would
wanna-
to say anything about the city's commitment to this particular project that was passed last night?
Yeah, Willie Hawkins. You know, once this event occurred, the city staff, they jumped in right away because we knew that this was something that was going to affect our residents. We didn't realize until the 30th how bad it was going to be. when the culvert was breached, but our city staff went in and they did everything that needs to be done. As for the city commission, we stand behind every single resident in the city of Eustis. And we had the right people in the right place to do what needed to be done. And here we are today. The city is supporting the HOA, and we're making sure that in a couple of weeks, 20 families are able to get back into their homes.
Just another point, just to make for the severity of the incident. I don't know if all of you received that emergency alert that night about flooding, stay in place, shelter in place, and all of that. That's only the second time in the history of the state of Florida that that button was actually activated. So that's how unique and impactful this event was. So just know it was just a challenge right out of the gate. And also, it's not like a hurricane where we had time to prepare for it. This just came and got us. So, and I know most of you are from the area and you know what I'm talking about. It was just a surprise event. It was supposed to be, what, 20% chance of rain, and right? I mean, we were all expecting to have a nice Sunday. So, anything else? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day, and if you go out to the site again, please be safe. All right, please watch out for yourselves.